Unit 6 Biomechanics 6.1 Notational Analysis. In this assignment, I'll be looking at what biomechanics is as well as notational analysis. I'll then be gathering data and linking it to basketball. Biomechanics is the mechanical movement and structure of the body. Sport biomechanics is about quantitative studies and analysis of an athlete in their sport to improve performance safely without injury. The main purpose for biomechanics is to support, increase and excel performance, or identify and solve any issues in sport or exercise. Biomechanics is used to identify optimal technique within a team or individual play to help enhance sport performance as well as determine the safest method to perform certain exercises in sport. Biomechanics enables athletes to access information regarding muscular recruitment and loading. This enables them to develop and improve training programs to help train their muscle recruitment order in certain skills to help increase performance. Notational analysis is the study of movement patterns, strategies, and tactics used in sport to help identify both successful and unsuccessful patterns, which can be fed back to help improve play. It is the gathering and analyzing of information collected through an observation of a game in competitive situations by a tally of required skills within the sport used to quantify how many the athlete has successfully or unsuccessfully made or attempted. There are measurable performance skills to work out flaws within play as well as strength. Performance is analyzed by recording data from the game by looking at tactics and techniques. The information can then be used in the following matches to improve performance or gain an advantage over the opposition. It can be used to help identify individual strengths and weaknesses as well as a team performance. In addition, information can be gathered about the team as well as the opponent team, which can aid performance knowing the other team's strengths and weaknesses. This can be done by coaches, other players live at the game, as well as through videos. In addition, higher level teams often pay companies to complete it so the information is more detailed as more advanced software can be used. Additionally, if completed by an outside company, this reduces the chance of the data being collected being biased. Hughes 2004 states notational analysis is an objective way of recording performance so that key elements of the performance can be quantified in a valid and consistent manner. Notational analysis is being used more and more and used by top athletes as well as lower level clubs who use it to inform tactics. Notational analysis has developed and expanded over the years. From the beginning in 1977, notational analysis was developed by Sanderson. He came up with the idea of lines and symbols to collect data. This would take 5 to 8 hours of practice to gather accurate data. However, there were some issues that it took ages to collect the data as well as producing a large volume of data that then had to be analysed. However, in 1987, Hughes developed Sanderson's method and it became electronic. The use of computers allowed the data to be analysed easier, comparing successful against unsuccessful performance as well as the pattern of play. This helped to see the development of the sport as it helped to improve performance as well as equipment improvement. For example, in squash, a rally average before the development of notational analysis was around 12, however now is around 20. Performance criteria. Within every sport, both team-based and individual, there are different performance criteria. This is a simple list of factors that are vital for that particular sporting performance. For example, shot accuracy. The scale of a performance criteria varies from each sport. For example, in netball, players are expected and required to be able to mark with no contact, gain possession, perform chest pass and pivot correctly, whereas in rugby, tackling and rucking are key components of the sport and is part of the sport performance criteria. This is a key example of how performance criteria can differ from each sport, as in rugby, contact is needed and is part of the game, whereas in netball it is forbidden. Within each sport, the performance criteria is developed and specific to each position within the sport. For example, in netball, a goal shooter's performance criteria would be shooting, whereas in netball or wing defence performance criteria wouldn't include shooting but rather quick reaction time for interception. In addition, non-team sports such as dance also require specific performance criteria. For dance, this could include first position, plie, battement tendu, and split leap. These are required to develop within the sport. Technical, movement, and tactical. These are three factors that can be observed during notational analysis. Technical analysis. Technical analysis is the observation of technique, both successful and unsuccessful, being quantified, typically shown as a percentage or a frequency. Technical analysis looks at the performer's skill and ability to achieve during games. Movement analysis. Within movement analysis, there are 5 main factors that it looks into: work rate, positional play, distance covered, movement patterns, and breaking of rules and law. Movement analysis is useful for teams and coaches as it's able to tell you the fitness of players, who works well in certain positions, as well as if there's any injuries within the team. Tactical analysis. Tactical analysis helps recognises the tactics of the game and if the tactics are the cause of success. It looks at and recognises tactical play, patterns of play. The level of tactical analysis varies at different levels due to technical process. Coaching needs to vary accordingly in order to gain the most out of the analysis, and having the knowledge of opponents' tactics means that you are able to plan each game accordingly to have a higher chance of winning. Basketball application. Different positions within basketball need different performance criteria in order to have more successful gameplay. A center performance criteria would be based on 2-pointers, layups, and getting rebounds, due to them being confident within the key and their play focus being within the key, whereas a guard would be looking more at 3-pointers due to them being less competitive within the key. A forward, and in particular a power forward's performance criteria might be looking at both 2 and 3-pointers, as well as layups. They focus less on dribbling and about driving and shooting outside. The 5 performance indicators that I'm going to be focusing on for a power forward to perform successfully are offensive and defensive rebound, turnover, steal, layup, and 2-pointers. Turnovers. A turnover is when the opposing team gains possession of the ball from the team originally in possession of the ball. This can be done by a pass being intercepted, a pass being stolen, or an offensive foul. A steal. A steal is when the defensive player forces a turnover by intercepting a pass or a dribble off an offensive player. If a power forward is able to steal successfully, it gives their team a chance to shoot, and if they're already positioned well for layups, then 2-pointers. A layup. A layup is a 2-point shot made by a player running through the key area, leaping from below and laying the ball up near the basket and using one hand to bounce it off the backboard and into the basket. Power forwards need to be able to execute layups well, as a lot of their play occurs within the key. They are usually faster and bigger players, which enables them to perform layups quickly and resort back to their position fast. 2-pointers. 2-pointers are shots made anywhere inside or on the 3-point line. These are relevant to power forwards, who are typically defend under the basket in the zone defense. Offensive rebounds. The power forward position entails a variety of responsibility, one which is rebounding. Power forwards must be excellent and must be able to take care of the ball after securing it. This is due to the fact they are positioned under the basket and must gain possession to shoot again, and on the other side to stop the opponent scoring. Offensive rebound is described as a rebound secured by an offensive player after their teammate has missed a shot. Whereas a defensive rebound is when the defense gain possession of the ball after a missed shot by the offense. These are less relevant to power forwards, however still need to be able to perform them well. We collected data through a schematic diagram. This looks at the performer's distance covered, the direction, and the movement throughout the game. Here is the evidence of my schematic. We collected our data using a tally system as shown below. The sheet allowed us to clearly mark and record information quickly, showing us clear quantified results of each performance criteria selected. Here is my data collection sheet for both a less experienced player and an experienced player. The data I collected was both live and recorded video data. Here is evidence of me recording data through video as well as live at a game. There are many advantages and disadvantages of notational analysis, and here are some listed below. So, advantages. Feedback is given to the athletes, which enables them to improve performance by setting more appropriate and personalised training programs. It enables decisions about the team to be made fair and accordingly. Notational analysis gives coaches information regarding each player's strengths and weaknesses, and can help coaches to decide what position best suits a player. Notational analysis can be used on both the home team but also the opponent team, and can be used to find out the other team's tactics, strengths and weaknesses. It can work out what areas of playing need to be improved, but also what's working well. Notational analysis can be done with advanced software and technology, however can also be completed without specialist equipment. So some disadvantages of notational analysis. Notational analysis can be very time consuming, especially for a team, and many observers are needed to gather the information. Using specialist software or companies can increase the cost and can become very expensive for reliable, accurate, detailed data. The skill level of the observer needs to be at a high standard in order for the data to be accurate and correct. Due to the speed of the game, data needs to be collected quickly. The reliability of the data can vary, especially when done manually, due to human error. In addition, if conducted by other teammates, results can be biased. The data also only tells you what and not why. Notational analysis is about quantity rather than quality, which means that although a certain performance criteria is being shown lots, the technique is off and isn't aiding the team.